Doing a product review on the Uniball white gel pen. These are really incredible pens. They're great for touching up. They're great for adding highlights to an eye, or just trying for realism, for that extra white. I do specialize in photorealism, and with photorealism you try to have the whitest white and the darkest dark, either in the hue of the color, or I even use these with black and white with the pencil sketches that I do sometimes, or even with charcoal. I've tried finding them in a local store and they just don't compare to the Uniball. But you can see here it says Uniball. You might be able to find them locally, but I bought these at Amazon, and I'm going to leave a link in the bottom of the description on where to purchase them. But they're really great. You can see here, I've used this one. But you can see here, they fit your hand just great. I'm just going to go ahead and write on this paper here, and you can see how they start. Let me get it started over here. You might have to start on a piece of paper. You can see how you can touch it up, or you can draw with it. There's a lot of uses for these white Uniball gel pens. This is one example of how you can use them. This is a painting I did, and I accidentally got something on the paper here. I'm not sure what it is. I think it's maybe just some pencil. But you can see how you can actually just go over that. And then when it dries, you don't see it anymore. So that's one way. Also, I don't really like the way this sun turned out. I wish it had a little bit more white in it. It's sort of mixed with the paint a little bit more. So I'm going to go over and add some of this gel pen to it. Make it a little bit more interesting. As you can see here, sometimes you have to go over it twice. Okay, it's dry now. You can see, you really can't see that spot anymore. So it's really great for touch-ups. You can see here, you can add a highlight to this eye on the fish with the gel pen, the white gel pen. As you can see here, you can just add a white highlight to the eye of this fish with a gel pen. You can also make some cool art with the white gel pens from Uniball. I'm making this guitar and I'm putting it on art paper. You could use construction paper, or I like to use this Strathmore art paper, sorted colors. And I went ahead and I drew the guitar out, and then I just go back and I'm just going to outline it. It's like this. Actually, the lighter you press with this pen, the better it works. This paper is it's not real smooth. It's hard to find art paper that's really smooth. And it's really not going on very good like it was earlier. Sometimes it depends on the temperature of the pen too. It's a little cold in the studio right now. I think I'll go back over that. But let me show you something about inking. It's real important. You know, when I went to school, I always wondered, well, what are these rulers with the metal on the side for. You know, I think pretty much we had them and didn't really have the plastic ones for a long time. But anyway, basically what they're for is you can go ahead and ink with them. And if you inked on this side where the wood is, the ink, when you lifted the ruler, or if you moved the ruler to the side, the ink would smear. But with these, it actually rolls underneath this metal piece, which lifts up from the wood and is in the middle of the wood, and that way you don't have that smearing. I'll go ahead and I'll show you one of these. Oops. Let me get it just right for you. And you can just, again, I'd have to do it 2 or 3 times. And just do it really, really light. And then we'll get it on there. Again, just go real light. And again, this paper is not real smooth. That's why it's not going on just perfectly. You could find some smooth paper. I'm not even sure they make them real smooth paper in the colored. I could be wrong. I just have never personally seen it. Just go back and forth. And again, it has that metal edge on it, so it's not really going to hurt anything. If you go back and forth, it's just going to roll underneath the metal part. And then I sort of lift it up towards myself. But you can see how that looks. And it makes for a really cool project. These are the different many uses that you can use for a white gel pen. There's a lot of other uses, but they're just really a cool tool to have in your art box. And I'll leave a link to it. Again, I'm sure once you buy one, you'll find other uses for it, and you'll think, how did I ever do without it? And you'll make sure you don't leave your home with your art supplies without it. Just kidding. But I think you'll just really enjoy it. So give it a try. And again, there's a link down in the description and to where you can buy these. They are not real easy to find, so you might want to follow the link.